Now, really important is that you read that information. I'll read it to you in a second, but I am going to tab out and right now talk about how both sides can score points. So, if you're referring to the document on the mission command, do note there is no Italians. They just merged the French and the Italians together for this style of operation. So, for the Germans, they have to download some drone data that was shot down, I believe, by the French and the Italians, terminate 2 uplink sites. Now, do note that the drone data gets locked out after 50 minutes and the terminal sites get locked out after 65 minutes. So this is a 90-minute round, so you got to keep in mind that's probably where Blue 4 is going to be focusing on first, same with Op 4. And then there is a secret bunker that needs to be captured, and they have to get 2 people in that capture zone. I think it's to capture it, they need at least 2 people from any part of the group in that zone. So if there's 1 guy alive, then you can't get the points. And then, of course, there is supremacy. So, big mix of points there. Really, the uplink is going to be the interesting thing because it's both. And there's 2 sites specifically, so if one of those gets lost but one of those is kept, then neither side's going to score those points. So we'll be tabbing in and out to keep count of those points, but otherwise, drone objective takes 90 seconds to complete and will lock after the 50 minutes of game time, so it takes a while to download that data. So someone needs to be covered while they do it, otherwise the cycle has to repeat. Restart would be a better term. Drone will turn into the destroyed texture when the action is complete. Nice. Uplink can be turned on and off however many times you want until 65 minutes of game time when they're locked. So they can just basically be recaptured as the operation continues by both sides, which is great. Status of both uplinks can be seen on the screen on each laptop. Enabled or terminated are on the mark as OK or error in red. You can see a picture of that in the mission exclamation point mission command in the link respectively that details out this mission, which is pretty cool. Terminating one uplink does not mean both termination in both links. They both need to be on the same side for a faction to get points. Basically, so if one side controls one side controls the other, then yeah. But this is going to be a Blue 4 on the offense objective, Op 4 on defense. Op 4 defending everything, Blue 4 assaulting for everything. 4 different objectives on play, plus the supremacy bonus. 2 objectives tied together. This seems to favor Op 4 a little bit because it's a defender advantage, but let's go ahead and look at the roster here, go through the players. So again, Falcon, he doesn't play OFCRA anymore. He got banned for 4 weeks, and I don't think he's coming back because he got a little mad. We saw his rampage on that Gulf Coast mission, which I thought it was perfectly fine, but I'm not getting into my own personal politics of how communities run their communities. You know, I'm merely a spectator that likes to watch people get their butts kicked and people make amazing plays. But otherwise, let's go over this roster here. So we got Kilo and Ziki over on the Op 4 side. Ziki, I would argue, one of, if not the best player within OFCRA. You got FAWR on Blue 4. You got MOR on Op 4. We've got Rick Hunter on Op 4. Alfred, he's still joining in. Archer, the Eden community. FJ also on Blue 4. Barrows and Bishop on Blue 4, pretty good there. Bluck, Winchester, Brewer, those 3 guys are pretty good on Op 4. C. Anderson, I don't think it's the same Anderson as FNF, but he's on Op 4 with Cheeseburger and Brother Erectus. Pretty funny name there. Smith also on Op 4, Juno and Curry Worst on Blue 4. Danny Sweet Op 4, Defi Blue 4, Demovar and Diablo Op 4, 2 pretty good players there. Draco, and I would imagine, actually no, I haven't seen Frank get in yet, but Draco on Blue 4 there, but it looks like he might have switched last second. Gaydon on Blue 4, Goatland on Op 4, Grizia on Op 4, Ilbanek on Op 4, good noteworthy name there. Howell on Blue 4, Ivno and Johnny Depp on Blue 4, Jonathan on Op 4, Callie on Blue 4, Dolly on Op 4. That guy's a jerk. Don't ever listen to what he says. I freaking hate him personally. Lemur on Op 4, Lesiak, we don't know yet. Murdy, Mr. White, NASA on Op 4, NASA be my liaison with OFCRA, who lets me cover these events with Manshot's approval, who I didn't see in here. Looks like he's not playing today. Natashan, Pancake the Screamer on Blue 4, Panzer and Parthius on Op 4. Parthius pretty good. PC Principal, what a South Park name. On Blue 4, PHK, really good player on Op 4. Piot Blue 4, Pogo underscore on Blue 4. I believe he's actually Blue 4 Command. Rigel on Op 4, Rizbo on Op 4, Rixu on Blue 4, Seal William Settler on Op 4, Nortz on Blue 4, pretty good player there. Honestly, a lot of those names that I just mentioned, really good players. Shay, really good player as well, Op 4. Skipu, really good player as well, Blue 4. Sky Online, Swola, Op 4, Seisgo, we haven't seen yet. Tackle, Dematic, Op4, Tali, and Vexen on Blue 4, with Smell, and VRAM on Op4. So, again, with OFCRA, a lot of these players I like to point out are really, really good compared to I only point out on Blue 4 like a handful of people and then Pepega and Scandia. That's because the two communities are very different in the sense that with OFCRA's PvP, almost anyone here is capable of getting behind an enemy squad and just absolutely massacring everyone if he gets the advantage, or she. FNF, you see that happen, but people that get in those opportunital spots might, they're more likely to make a mistake and then get turn around and get killed immediately. So, yeah. That's why I try to noteworthy, or make more people noteworthy in that case, but it also kind of evens everything out, where it's really, really hard for individuals to stand out. So, I mean, Ziki, for example, we only see him stand out, I want to say, once every 3 to 4 operations, but when he does, it's brutal. He usually goes double digits in those cases. So you'll have to ask Falcon, because I'm done covering it, but... yeah, he went on a little rampage, but there were, quote-unquote, a few things wrong. I think it's a little bit of Huey myself, but, yeah. I can't say anything mean to the entity that lets me cover stuff, so... take with that what you will. Otherwise, if I were to... I mean, I'm going to look at both sides. Both sides also have air vehicles, by the way, and a few other things. So we're going to have to see what both sides pull here. But we're going to be in their TFAR channels as well.
Bon, je vais aller lire c'est quoi la mission là, parce que...
Ouais, j'espère qu'on va avoir un briefing parce que...
And Op4 appears to be in 2 separate places, so they are going to have some battalion units as well. They're just on a different side. A little bit of a mispairing there.
Merde.
Holy crap.
On est sur le combien?
What gun is that?
2.
Right, lads.
Test à 4.
Right, we're on the frequency.
Nice. I've never seen that before. That's... looks like a really powerful sniper rifle, if you ask me. I have no idea. These guys are meant to be French. So whatever the French, a Heat 2, what's, is that a 408? Do you not watch Sword Art Online? Well, with the gun gale thing? No, I do not. Oh, that's the anti-material rifle from New Vegas. I thought that looked familiar. So the French use it. Oh, that's funny. That's actually funny. So they're oh my gosh. That's funny. Well, Opfo have that weapon today, but otherwise we already looked over their kits. But, French, they're also going to get FAMASs. They've got an anti-material rifle shooter. We got some Grenadier systems, some mini-me's, a big mix of equipment here, some marksmen with some small scopes, but I love that they have a dedicated sniper. That's pretty dope. But anyway, 2 M2 statics, some transport Humvees, a tow Humvee, and an M2 Humvee. Interesting. All right, so Op4's got a pretty good roster here. We already went over all of their names. Let's go ahead and look at the Italian side, which is also Op4 that's joining French in this operation. So they get an unarmed Hellcat, but it's got the camera up in front, but we only have a single pilot, so that camera's not going to be utilized. Okay. We have a Marshal with an Italian flag on it. Interesting. And then 2 transport cars and then 2 additional M2 statics. All right. So we've got basically... you could call this an APC or an IFV. It serves as both functions. It can transport, a squad of people as well as it has the autocannon. So that term can be used interchangeable there, but otherwise a decent group there. We've got what looks like 5.56 rifles, ACRs, MP7, I'd imagine for that's for vehicle crews and pilots. We've got some other mini-me's here with some SU-230 scopes and some magnified optics. I would assume that is a DMR version of the ACR that they're using. We got some single-shot disposable AT. But yeah, a lot of these guys are actually running magnified optics. Interesting. So this might just be a full-on magnified optics fight for everyone involved. But otherwise, I'm not seeing anything else that is noteworthy here. But otherwise, let's go ahead and look at blue for the attacking faction here. Let's see what we've got. Just heard, I think, a Scar go off or something else. Nah, it's G36 is my bad. That was a 5.56 shot. We're gonna probably see some, I forget what the battle rifle is. Is that? No, that's an MG3. Okay. Okay. Hello. If we're getting an attack helicopter, a Tiger.
Stay at Eden Waypoint number 1. You can send your infantry on the hill if you like.
Alright. Otherwise, I did see, so we got the MG3s, we do have the marksman, some AT. That's probably why they have the tow, though. Good God. I'm trying to look. I thought I saw a sniper here as well. There we go. Yes, that's a 308 or 408 there. Oh, that's a 338 Lapua. That's it. Yeah. We've got some 50 cals with... This is interesting. These are showing the destroyed animation, so does that mean they're usable or they're damaged? Or I don't actually know, but they've got the unarmed versions, so I would assume that these are just 50 cal Crow systems, and they're perfectly fine. And then they have a tank. Oh my. And then what? 2 more Crow system vehicles back here. So Blue 4 has an attack helicopter with I would assume limited ordnance. I'm not seeing anything in there in terms of the guided missile department. These AA tubes appear. That one isn't empty, but this one is. So that means they have 2 AA weapons. They've got a cannon on this, and they have a camera. So this could technically be solo crewed. And it is going to be solo crewed. There's only 1 pilot for it, so they're going to mainly use that as an attack platform. They have a tank and then 5 different Crow vehicles, which means these also have magnified optics and they might have thermal, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. So that explains why OFCRA has the tow Humvee, but in terms of the technology gap, this is really favoring the attackers. Blue 4, they have the static 50 cals, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Oh, we also have a Metis team in play. I mean, that's not actually a Metis, that's the, French equivalent. But that is definitely an ATGM. And yeah, I think that was a holosight on an MG3. And here's... I'm going to be honest, we're getting to some weaponry that I'm actually unfamiliar with because I don't actually, see these weapons a lot. So it's fun to see new styles of weaponry in different factions across OFCRA. Pretty dope.
I was just joining our squad afterwards. Yeah.
Then we have some single-shot disposable tubes from the looks of things. So I'm going to quickly check the Italians here. Do they have a dedicated AT system, or are they just going to hug the Marshal here and that recon helicopter? I'm also looking to see if there's any dedicated AA, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything larger in terms of AT, but this is a very interesting kit bash of various weapons. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like I'm favoring Blue 4 right now, but if Op4's ATGM gunners are competent, that could easily change on a dime. So anyway, we got one uplink site over here. The uplink area itself, it appears to be not in here. Okay. Let's see if we can find that terminal. It apparently is going to be... here it is. So it says it's okay. This will say T in red letters like Terminator or something if it's been interacted with to flip off, which is great. You got the other uplink site over here, which is tied to this. I believe that would be a TFAR tower for an extended radio communication, or just a regular one. So there's the other one. We've got the down drone all the way over here. So this is the middle objective, farthest outside of Op4 territory, but also in a bit of a tough position here. So it'll take 90 seconds to download, quote-unquote, that drone data. Appears to be an Italian drone based off of the color scheme there. Once it gets downloaded in terms of the data, it'll show as a destroyed texture, but this will lock after 60 minutes. So early and mid-game could be all about that drone, and then at the... actually, no, it's 50 minutes. My bad. And that's 65 for the 2 terminal sites. Just fact-checking that real quick. Yep, 50 and 65. So it's going to be at 2-minute time intervals. So at the 60-minute marker and at the 75-minute marker, those objectives will lock, leaving the remainder of the game for the Swiss bunker, which is literally just a bunker. And I think the area is defined by these areas on the ground, so not a lot of cover to work with. I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to be like just the afterthought objective for the last 30 minutes, but with 65 minutes leaving 25 minutes for that one area. Yeah, no, that makes sense. 25 minutes to remount and then push that area. It's, you know, click and a half, 2 clicks away, depending on where you look. No, mostly a click and a half. Neat. Now, both sides do have a helicopter. That helicopter is going to be locked for 10 minutes. So the first 10 minutes, neither side can lift it off. I have heard that there might be something interesting going on for either side, so we'll see how that goes. Do I like monkeys? Well, in the in that freaking wacky racist thing, we had a bunch of dancing monkeys on the models for the driver's vehicles, so yes, I would say I do. That was pretty cursed, though, to be honest. But otherwise, 30 seconds remaining. Defenders are probably going to form a 3-prong defense or a 2-prong defense. In my opinion, they should just go for holding one of the sites and holding the down drone. And then maybe a minor team at one of the other uplink sites, or just be ready to recapture that, or just forego defending one of the objectives. I just recommend you hold these, because that way it denies Blue 4 from scoring from taking both, or Blue 4 from scoring on the down drone, but you at least keep the down drone points. But the really tough part about this is going to be that this drone, I mean, it's really just in a forest. There's not a lot of cover to work with here. And if those Crow systems on the Blue 4 vehicles have thermal capability, and sometimes you do see thermals in OFCRA, it could be pretty messy. So we're going to have a few minutes left on the betting clock. I'm going to be honest, could really go either way. Blue 4 have the technology superiority, but Op 4, I think, have not only the defensive advantage, but a slight number gain. Let me look. So we got about a full roster on Blue 4, plus 3 small groups. Op 4 has about the same. All right, so the numbers are actually split pretty evenly there. Interesting. So in the past, I have seen ATGMs working against tanks. Usually the tank outperforms the ATGM and is able to do significant damage before it's eventually taken out. But then that's, I want to say, 3 out of 5 times, 2 out of 5 times, it's split down the middle. 1 out of 5, the ATGM will just outright snipe the heavy armor asset immediately, or 1 out of 5 times, the armor asset will just be completely underutilized. Which doesn't always mean it's costing them the game, but it makes, I think in the 2 times I've seen it be underutilized, it makes the game super freaking close. So it looks like we're going to have Op 4 Command going to the uplink site over here, deploying their remainder of the forces probably around the down drone and the other uplink site. We've got a few guys that I guess didn't get the memo. Oh, we have a bot, but I think that's meant to be a joke, and he's just AFK, and then Fury Gamer's going to leg it, and he's the ATGM guy. Why would you have the ATGM guy go on foot? I mean, I get it, you know, he walks in, he's not a target for anything, but Blue 4 have a far spawn. Wouldn't it be better to give the ATGM guy a car so he could quickly maneuver around? If he finds the tank, he can, you know, maneuver to go engage that one thing? Perhaps? I don't know. Alright, otherwise, Op4, we're seeing a bit of a spaced out defense here. Nothing specifically on the zone. They're just trying to space out to cover things accordingly. And we only have a handful of defenders on the down drone right now. But we do have Op4 coming up with all of their forces here. The Italians coming in to reinforce. And I think we have the remaining group staying here, waiting for that helicopter to be unlocked. So I think when they come in, we'll see the full amount of defenders come in. But Blue 4... I'm a little worried about Op4 here because that tank is already on the prowl and it is close to the front line. It's got an infantry screen in front of it, and these hills, we could potentially see some pretty nasty tank action from the tall hills going into the objectives. But then again, not a lot of good Overwatch hills for that tank to be utilized at long ranges. Now, once you actually start getting into the AO, the terrain evens out a bit more, but anything on Overwatch looking in, you don't really see it because the trees really obscure any of the tall ridges from where the tank could potentially Overwatch, and then even then we've got some ridges in the way. So I predict this is going to be a pretty slow early game because I like to divide OFCRA into 3 parts. First 30 minutes are your early game, next 30 minutes are your mid game, final 30 minutes is your late game. On average, you see a lot of action happen mid game. Early game is dedicated to setting your forces up and just doing a lot of maneuvering. And then end game is, if the game is close, you'll see both sides really duke it out. But more often than not, the game is decided in mid game, in my opinion. I would say 50-50. If not, slightly, like maybe 60-40, leaning to mid game decides things. But we've seen some pretty close stuff done in end game. Now, last week's op, that one... Was that the Gulf Coast one, or was that one something else? I think that was the second Gulf Coast one. That ended up desyncing out. I remember it. Yeah. Now, it desynced out. Op4 still won it. I thought Op4 was still going to win it anyway, but we never would have known. Now we're being told locked vehicles have been unlocked. Does that mean the helicopters are good? Yeah, so I thought that would have been 10 minutes, not 5. Huh, so I think, it's kind of funny because I was told that Blue 4... Yeah, so Blue 4, here's what their plan was. They were going to rush a Vic over to try to snipe Op4's helicopter, and if they had 5 more minutes, they might have actually made it, but no, Op4 is going to immediately get away because Blue 4 thought they'd have 10 minutes instead of 5. That's a shame. I was watching that and waiting that. I didn't want to give any attention to it just now, but... No, so it looks like they might have gotten that wrong. Blue 4... Can he get in it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. Okay, so yeah, the helicopters were set to a 5-minute timer instead of 10. That's unfortunate. So they're going to miss the opportunity to hit that unarmed helicopter. But even then, it's just an unarmed helicopter. There's not really much that can be done with it. It is transporting people right now, but... At least I thought it was. I thought there were people left back at base to go in the chopper, but I guess not. I think they got in this car instead and have now driven up over here. And now we might see some early skirmishes between Blue 4 and Op 4 because they are on neighboring ridges here. No, warm-up ended 6 and 2/3 of a minute ago. Usually warm-up is anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes. Sometimes it's down to 5, but on average, I want to say it's 10, though recently it's been closer to 8. Yeah, and I will say this, as someone that works with a lot of different communities, either spectating PvP events or hosting for them or playing in them, it is very difficult to juggle all of their rules together. And there are certain rules that I wouldn't even know or remember to know. That's why I only do so much within certain communities. That's why you'll never see me Zeus in TMTM unless it's a co-Zeus, because otherwise I have to make a mission file, and that's very strict. That's why you'll probably never see me play on the ground in FNF or OFCRA, excuse me. It's just too much to balance at once, you know? So now I'm just trying to see if this tank's gonna notice anything or if that Op4 group's going to notice anything. If they do notice, what are they going to do with that information? Because I doubt Op4 has any room here to actually engage that armor piece, but I do appreciate how they're looking around. They might see those Blue 4 guys maneuvering over there. Brewer, if he has his render distance cranked up to the max, but even then, he might not. Not always. They don't always disable thermals on OFCRA. That's why it's actually really critical that those crow systems exist. So I think Brewer's calling some stuff out here. I think he sees it's just at the edge of his render distance. But is he calling stuff out? He's calling that group out. So he's seeing dudes literally 2 clicks away. Great eyes for him. But no, Blue 4 is about to get to the Italian spawn point. Yeah, if they left it locked for another minute, they would have had that minute to engage that vehicle. So that is a shame. But now we got another group flanking around to the north. One thing I am a little worried about for Blue 4's sake, though, is we still have forces back at base, but we have a lot of stuff just everywhere right now. A lot of different loose groups. Op4 has been able to deploy their forces fully. All around this area. What we need to see Blue 4 do, in my opinion, is take advantage of the fact that Op4 is going to divide themselves among 2, possibly 3 different areas to try to cover everything at once. So for Blue 4's sake, the easiest thing to do at that point is to go for the objective not only closest to them, but worth the, not worth the most points, but close, how do I put it? If Op4 is divided among multiple sectors, Blue 4 can just take all their forces and attack one objective, only engaging a partial amount of Op4's force, basically defeating that force in detail and also claiming the first objective. Then Blue 4 can move to the next uplink site, and then the next after that, because this is only a 75 to 80 person operation, which means both sides only have roughly an American platoon size element, if not less, of about 40 dudes. A little less than that. That divided among assets is going to help account for what you see here, because it's not, you know, like an 110, 120 FNF match where you do have to divide the force at that point because you have too much stuff maneuvering at once. But, you know, a few of those crow cars, the tank overwatching through these open areas, assisting the infantry pushing up to these forested areas to get to that down drone, I think you're golden. I honestly think you'd be golden just doing a battle line like that and coordinating your elements to cover each other as you moved up to that first objective. Because the best Op4 can do at that point is just reinforce from previous objectives. But if you have good Overwatch lines, you can deny Op4 that ability. Cana, Alabama, what a name. I only said it's 75 to 80 people. I know, Chosen. But compared to what I cover for PvP, that is on the lower end. You wouldn't really see that number in FNF until you got to round 3 of NA, in my opinion, or if it was just a really slow night. That number is more around the medium for OFCRA, but recently we've been seeing it get up to like triple digits and everything. And there is such a thing as, if you have so many players, you do want to have 2 different attack waves instead of 1, because having too many people together can get you utterly screwed. If you guys recall, I think it was EU3 last week in FNF. They did an entire unified push with like 60 dudes, 60 or 70, because they had the number advantage with them, and they got encircled and absolutely annihilated. Granted, the factions fighting them, it was Pepega and Scandi, which are like the maneuvering kings of Piecemeal, but piecemeal. But you get my point. Now, I'm really curious here. You got the Tiger super high in the sky. You've got the Wildcat super low. I'm going to check this again just to confirm it has no ordnance. And it does not. But neither sides have a gunner with them, at least I think. So they can't use the camera. Nope, so Blue 4 got a gunner for it last second. That's why they're flying high. So Giovanni here, he can use the camera to scout around. That's a really good call in my opinion, because that also means that that can be a scouting asset. Now what I'm really concerned about here is this opening fight. Now we are almost halfway through early game here. So normally we'd still see a few more maneuvers, some last minute tweaks to Op4's defense strategy because they're defending faction, but Blue 4, they're still going to have a lot to go here with all this ground they're going to have to go through. And yeah, Keene, Alabama, usually you'd see FNF. These days you don't really see 120 anymore, but you still at least see anywhere from 100 to 115, 120. So you still see it in triple digits, but there is a massive difference in playing on a 50-person server, a 60-person server, and like a 100-person server. Yeah, every week was 124 for months. It was pretty good. And then poof, it all starts trickling out. Yeah. I mean, they're bringing new communities in, so I think that number is going to stay strong around 110, 120 as they keep bringing those new communities in, but we'll see how things go. Yes, and then Adriano channeled his inner spirit and forever became an FNF legend. 24 kills in a round, and he literally saved it as a one-man army. They accused it. Some people accused him of cheating too, but we systematically watched him just clean sweep every house systematically. It was beautiful. All right, but otherwise, got a Blue 4 squad up here. I think they're reconning out that down drone. Again, at the 60-minute mark, that drone will lock, so we still have like 35 minutes to go with here. I'd imagine we're probably going to see if there was a shot in the air right there. That was going a little more that way, so I think it was just a misfire. Which at this level of the game, you might not want to do. But here we go. We're seeing Blue 4 starting to do their maneuvers here. As I thought, they are going to basically go for the down drone first with a majority of their units and then clean sweep to the rest of the objectives. We've got the helicopter, I think, doing some orbitals right now just to keep track of the objectives on the ground here to do some recon. And then the Op4 chopper is still staying low. I think it's doing some close reconnaissance here because it can't really see from anything else because it, you know, doesn't have that gunner co-pilot seat to utilize that camera. You still got this Op4 force moving around. I think it's doing some maneuvering to get on other hills to track any remaining forces that are down here. I believe Brewer, he's still looking at that for us. Yep, he's spotted the tank. But I don't think... I mean, they've got one dude with a single-shot disposable AT warhead, but, I mean, against a tank, he's going to have to get, like, an engine hit top-down to hit where the armor is weakest on the top here to really do anything to it, in my opinion. But now I think they're starting to maneuver because they're going to get mounted up and start pushing to the objectives themselves. Meanwhile, we have... this car driving slowly. It must have hit something, and then some guy's walking on foot. But this car is probably going to come up and utilize its spare wheel with the other Vic's spare wheel to get it repaired so they can continue moving again. But that leaves this force right here to take the down drone. Now, the drone site itself only has a handful of guys. I could see Blue 4 steamrolling it, but if Op4 is quick to commit its forces in, they got a 50 cal Humvee in the area. I wonder where that tow Humvee is, but these guys, they have transport as well. We could see things fold in and have a pretty nasty battle line form in that area. We need to see this tow Humvee adjust. I assume it only has 4, maybe 5 tows. We'll be able to look in the back. Okay, so usually they code its however many we have here, so this means it has 7, give or take. So 7 could be enough to take out the entire complement of Blue 4's armored vehicles. And I do agree with what's that. This is a pretty bad position for a tow. Because you don't really have a good line of sight anywhere from here. No offense. I mean, you want to put this on a high position. If you want to keep it hidden, you just have a spotter or two out on the hill. Not skyline, you know, like under a pine tree or something, looking for your target. And then once you spot it, radio to the tow Humvee to come up and then hit it and then pull the tow Humvee back. But this is... ugh.
Okay.
I like how they have it looking away so it can immediately drive forward, but like drive forward into trees. Like, who the heck knows? You gotta remember some are bunker busters. That's true. So I think they only have 4 AT and then maybe like 3 bunker buster. We'll see. What I'm curious about, though, is if Blue 4 is going to start with some softening up airstrikes, or are they going to start with just trying to get a team in as close as they can? We're already seeing a Blue 4 team coming in close right here. It's the sniper team.
So watch out.
So there's trenches up here, but there's no one manning them, so these are here just to slow down Blue 4 by making them think there's Op 4 forces here. That's a smart PsyOps tactic, in all honesty. Psychological warfare, just build fake defensive lines to fake your enemy out, making them think there's more guys around here than actually are. That's funny. Alright, I'm gonna write something down real quick. In case I want to take highlights so I can write down timestamps. But otherwise, Blue 4 still has quite a few forces to maneuver. You got Op 4 starting to move up on foot from the castle, I guess, to flank the tank position that was previously there, but they've already pulled back. We have an infantry group all the way over here. What happened to you? Did you blow your car up? I'm actually really confused. Where's the tank? Wait. Where's the tank? Oh, thank God. Yeah, so it's all the way up the top, which is usually reserved for commanders, so I got really, really confused. But, alright, they've brought it all the way up here with that other driver team, so they've maneuvered pretty far. That Op 4 force is not going to be able to catch up with it. I'm more concerned about this Blue 4 team and why it's all the way out here on its own. Their car's right here, but it looks like they didn't get it repaired and they're still walking. So I'd assume Blue 4 is going to send something to go pick them up later, but that's a force out of position at that point. Op 4, they've got too much stuff divided. If they were really conservative about stuff, they should have just held these two positions and put something really minor on that spot and maybe had their helicopter just patrol around, because they don't really have room for much else here. Yeah, so there's a little bit of fog on the server, as what's that is pointing out. It's not really going to obscure vision too much, but it looks like the render range is 2 clicks right now, because we were seeing Op 4 identify Blue 4 positions that were roughly 2 clicks away. What I'm more curious about is when are we going to see that Tiger attempt to do a strike? Also, how is Op 4 going to deal with that? They've got some static 50 cals and an ATGM Vic, but I didn't see any dedicated AA. Unless this can be used as AA. I'm also not noticing anyone directly looking into the sky. Well, they're not going to engage each other from 2 kilometers away. Maybe the tank and maybe the crow systems. Maybe the snipers if they're a little crazy, but that'll be it. Now we're seeing Blue 4 run in. I'd imagine these trenches were also dug here to fake them out. Maybe they noticed that there was no one here, so they're not going to cross up to there. And then perhaps try to use these trenches against Op 4. I don't think there's going to be an angle, though, because the tree cover's a bit too thick. Now, one thing I'm also worried about, though, is we do have this Blue 4 group right here. Is it in a position to support? Because if these guys can move in from over here in Overwatch, and then these guys push, they can catch this Op 4 group routing and basically eliminate them all. Or better yet, they can have an overwatch position and pick off any Op4 that come in, especially if they have a gun car set up on these open hills here to help prevent any Op4 forces from coming in, and that's an easy, I think, 4 points on the board after that. Hey, Slash. So we have 7 more minutes left of early game. We might not see any combat in early game, which is quite common, but it looks like have these cars coming back to pick up the remaining Blue 4 guys, and we still have a good chunk of Blue 4 in reserve, including that tank. I think they're just not going to risk it. Which I also get. I mean, this terrain doesn't really favor a tank, but it's a pro and con. Because to use the tank effectively, you need range, but so do the ATGMs. But something I don't really understand is this is the team with the sniper, right? Yeah. So why are you sending... Why is the sniper the third man to go into what is arguably going to be a combat area? Like CQC style. You know what I mean? Like, this is a really dumb idea, in my opinion. Is he gonna get some quick scopes, Frost? Is that, or excuse me, Falcon? Oh, he's gonna yell at me for that one. Yeah, so they can't be heard right now. You got Parthius moving back, who also has an ATGM. I'm waiting for the realization.
Copy.
Blue 4 right over there. I'm gonna laugh if Blue 4 just bypass this Op4 group, steal it, and then walk off. Ah, he spotted him. He knows. They know. Dude, just hold. Just let Skipu take the drone. And then just hold it out. And of course, Vex decides to fire instead. Knocks Fury Gamer out with that. I'm going to quickly mute myself because whenever people die, we can hear them locally. Now Op4 is like, what was that? Parthius is probably going to see Fury is down right there. And go, wait a minute. And then Parthius goes down as well by Despo. Because look at that, Blue 4's right on top of your position. Op4 does not have a lot of room to maneuver here. Blue 4 trying to move additional forces up. They're now trying to basically pull away here as Skipu is starting to do that hack. Let's see if Timex pulling security on his left. Doesn't look like it. We're seeing more smokes being popped. Hold up, now he's turning. Might look in that direction. But Blue 4 is pretty much going to get that drone and a few free kills. I don't know what Op4's plan was there. Because they left a really big hole in their defense line. And Blue 4 just walked right in. I don't really know what else is part of that, though. Despo trying to move in. He's got an MG3. Blindly suppressing through that tree. Gotland goes down. And he's knocked out as Despo gets another shot in there. So I think that's 3 kills down. I mean, we got Parthius and Fury that have gone down. Gotland's knocked unconscious. Despo's going to go finish him off. You got Swola still running over. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was a Naveed as well, which, upon looking at it, honestly, that might be a 9.3 machine gun. So at that point, that's nearing HMG stats, but it's definitely an MMG. And he double taps, but it does sound like the vanilla machine gun. So you got the 3 of them. They're now turning around. I thought they were holding for a second. NASA's in a lot of trouble here. Because you also have a Blue 4 car coming around. Is that a gun car? Because that could lock them down with that Crow system, and it is. Oh, it most certainly is. If that thing pulls up and starts looking at the forest, it can start picking them off. Blue 4 coming in with more reinforcements, but that's a pretty significant blow for Op4, just showing you how far they've kind of spread their forces here and how completely out of position everything is. I mean, logically, you have to defend the objective that's going to go away first, right? Because, again, the drone has to take... It takes 90 seconds to capture. I think Skippoo's still in the process of capturing it. But after the 50-minute mark, also known as the 60-minute mark in game because of the 10-minute safe start timer, it gets locked out. So naturally, that's the first one that you want to defend, right? So yeah, now you got these guys going in the open. It's just a matter of, is this car going to pull up and try to overwatch, or did they just not want to risk it? Because I think OFCRA has reinforcements on overwatch behind this group, which they have to think that's the case, because surely OFCRA wouldn't put something up unsupported on its own, right? Right? So Blue 4 is overthinking it. Blue 4 is also shooting at their own dudes. Amazing. Please stop. I'd love for that to happen. Blue 4 comes in, almost eliminates a full squad, and then Blue 4 comes in and eliminates a squad of Blue 4. Even everything out. And there's the drone damage, which means Blue 4 got the 4 points for hacking the drone. So, first points on the board at the tail of early game is Blue 4. Now is the really interesting part. Are we going to see OFCRA adapt, pull out of one objective area, and try to hold one, or are they going to keep their forces split? Because if they keep their forces split, you're just going to see a defeat in detail. Just the definition of a defeat in detail at this point. Now, what also could be interesting is if OFCRA stays here and Blue 4 continues to drive, we could see an OFCRA ambush. They only have a single-shot disposable piece of AT. But OFCRA could just drive on by. They just drove past the Vic that OFCRA used to get in here. Which, I'm going to be honest, if we drive by and don't take any shots and we found a random derelict Vic, I would just take it. Because the only other assumption is whatever took that is probably nearby, so why not steal the vehicle and deny them their mobility, especially when they are multiple clicks away from the actual objective area. That would be a smart call in my opinion, but it's also a matter of did they see it because they're all locked in first person. Now, you would see the tail sticking out, so it's only if you're paying attention. If not steal it, then, like, disable it. Steal the wheels, shoot the wheels out, you know? Knock out 3 of the wheels and you're fine. What? So I'd imagine Blue 4, they're going to swing this force around to go hit from a different angle. Unfortunately, that's going to give OFCRA the perfect opportunity to put AT on this tank. Oh my god. I don't think OFCRA know they're coming though, so they're crossing. But at this speed, you might actually see the AT guy be right on the road as vehicles cross. Holy crap. No, he's going to hold. Yeah, he immediately gets the AT out. He's going to blow by him if he misses that one. Hold up. He just has to chill if he's patient. He can snipe the tank. Why did the tank stop? No way. No freaking way. No, they saw that there were OFCRA there. They're turning around now. Okay. So these guys saw someone with AT out or something as they were driving by, so they were able to call to that group to get away. Oh my god, that would have been funny. And I think they're only 2 manning the tank, because it's this crew up here, because one of their guys has died? He died in a random forest all the way over here. We see some run over trees, so it's quite possible he got run over by his own vehicle. How? I don't know. Welcome to OFCRA. So Blue 4 pulling away from that vehicle. We've got some forces now coming around. OFCRA, they turned those 3 guys around. They're manning those apartment buildings, but Blue 4 is pulling all their forces away. I guess to do a surgical strike, you have the helicopter up here overwatching that area now. I'd imagine they're looking for that ambush crew. We're gonna look down at Giovanni. Yeah, he's looking. That is really disorienting. What are you doing? Why would you... You know there's a group over there, so why would you push back? I think that guy just skylined the tank, yeah. And this is unarmed. So Blue 4 now pushing, I believe, this gun car. What? And now there's a two-man team dismounting to fight an ambush? I'm sorry, what? And now the OPFOR helicopter's coming in, and now the gun car's driving back. Isn't that bulletproof? What? What is the logic here? What are you gonna do? What are you actually doing? They just shot Ilbanek out. Now you're dismounting. What? You drove past an ambush. How did Andre go down? No one shot you. Did a GL ricochet into your face? What? I got Brewer firing from across the way. Howell getting knocked out because... What is this? He could be, but this is a really... Who took him out? Because the gun wasn't... Brewer's just gonna pick off everyone that dismounts. So you kill two and you knock out two and kill a third? AT just missed. No, that one hit. It is reloadable. You guys okay? You just got hit by AT? No? Okay. If someone could make sense of that, let me know. Because I don't, man. What was that? And now the car's driving back in. So if you had multiple shots of AT, he's got another one. Hit it. Hit it in the ass. Yeah, he might have just lost his opportunity there. Now you got these two pushing down on Brewer's trees, but Brewer's pretty well hidden there. There is a supremacy bonus of 2 points. Meanwhile, looking back at the other fights, two groups have dismounted and they're close together. Why is Blue 4 now sending in small strike teams? This confuses me. Brewer, I think, just killed one guy. Yep. Brewer, I think, on 3 kills so far. We can't keep track. Yeah, he just got an ACR. And Deafy has no idea where his battle buddy went, so he's gonna pull away, perhaps. Alright, well, an interesting start. OPFOR, meanwhile, pushing forces down here. They've spotted the car. Now they just need AT to come up and hit it. They have AT, right? Oh. Wait, yes they do. It's Danny. Hey, he's got the AT out. Pop that sucker. Smell goes down. Most of Blue 4 was dismounted. Now they're going to be routed here. Kill count's broken because Arma updated and broke it, and they just haven't fixed it since because it's an Arma issue. So Blue 4 getting the early point lead, but it's turning around as, I guess, Blue 4's own hubris is getting them killed. So, granted, that previous engagement we saw, that was just Blue 4 being silly. This one, Blue 4 genuinely got ambushed. So, we got 3 people trying to break away south. That's abandoning their team lead. Only for the Marshal to come in and start smoking more people. It's Zicky's Marshal. Of course it is. 6-sword Zicky. Taking out 2 of those Blue 4 players. One of them was the AT guy. This Blue 4 group is screwed. And now you have... what? Okay, they're hunting the unarmed chopper. And they're completely missing those shots. Dude, Op4 just needs to lead that chopper right into where the Op4 tow is, and that's it. That's honestly it. Is it still here? That is such a bad position for it. Is he not coordinating with anyone to line up something? There's a 50 cal. Got some hits in there. Yeah, so this is right over Op4's terror, like where they would be defending. What is going on? Alright, so... sorry about that. You still have the gun cars driving in here, even though they, oh, wait, no, his didn't get AT'd, it was the other one. But, TK still has AT. And Blue 4 have all these guys dismounted back here doing nothing. Tow, Ron, okay, wait. Here we go. Hit it. You can totally make that shot. Just guide it in. Don't be a coward. Literally, that is like, you cannot make a more perfect shot. It's literally flying away from you at a fairly straight angle. Oh. As someone that's used tows, I'm going to be honest, he could have made that. I mean, we were using tows during MCO a week ago. If they're flying away at a semi-straight angle, you just have to lead the target. You didn't even need that much lead. It was almost flying completely away from him. So now here's what we need to see. That pilot needs to coordinate with the crew on the ground right here. So that either the Marshal can light it up in a straight line, or the tow can fire at this Vic, because it's clearly trying to gun for the unarmed helicopter for some silly reason. So if they can line it up where the chopper is going to go in a straight line to that tow or that Marshal, they can pretty much eliminate this, which is silly because he should not be doing this anyway. But yeah, no, he's lining it up. All right, come on. This is literally a straight line. Oh. Why did you move it? The pilot is literally giving this to you. Flip, my man, please. Please, have the chopper come around. It's gonna be on her tail. And then just pop it. Do not take a sideways shot. That's too risky. I even struggle with that. Let him literally loop around. Now he's on your tail. No, it's okay. I believe in Flip. What we need to see is this chopper just get up another line. They need to have a little bit better coordination with the tow gunner. And they should be fine. Okay, now he's cutting left. It's a little bit of a high altitude shot. Is that because he's going to do an airstrike? No. No, he's going to do a dagger cut. Because he's trying to stay on that chopper. There's the dive. Okay. Hold on. Yep, so now he's tracking. let him come back around, coordinate with that chopper to come back to this position, and then as soon as you see it flying in a straight line towards you, pop that toe on him. He's too target fixated, so he's not going to see it. Or do something similar with your Marshal. Did I just hear an HGM go off? Yeah, one of the ground gunners decided to hit, but now we're seeing that Marshal fire. Ah, see, look, it's flying in a straight line away from that Marshal, and they just cucked the engine. There we go. So Zicky and Sixor in the Marshal were able to get it because they got the chopper in a straight line away or two. And there you go. It's going to hit those trees. There it is. So literally at the perfect angle to fire, and they got her. So great job to that pilot. That was Rigel, who was baiting the chopper to come doing runs on the Marshal in the tow position and allowed them enough time to line up that shot and take him out. So now I'm a little worried about Blue 4 because they're starting to lose their assets, and now we're seeing the full squad sweep this forest. But no, that pilot did a great job. But Drunk Firebear, thanks for gifting Lewis a sub. Hope you'll keep enjoying the operation. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Now, real quick, is Zicky gunning or is Sixor? It's Zicky gunning. Yep, not surprised. Masterfully baited. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't really a bait. If it was a bait, it would have been done like on the first run. That was more so Blue 4 just getting target fixated on an unarmed chopper, which I don't know why they did, to be perfectly honest. Like, if you're flying around enemy territory like that, that's probably one of the dumbest things you can do, because eventually they're going to line something up to take you out like that. So, you know, just the question is why. So there's the drone data going. Oh, my bad. So now we only have another 15 minutes. Is Barrow's going to walk right up to Brewer's position? Of course. So 15 minutes for Blue 4 to at least get one of the sites hacked, but they've been too busy with this outside stuff. I think they're going to go for at least disabling one of the sites, but Op4 now has 15 minutes to basically get 5 points to come out on top of Blue 4 because Blue 4 has been stuck doing stupid shit. Like, they were in position to hit the next one, and then they pulled out. Brewer now coming out of hiding. Only to get eliminated there because he couldn't land the shot. I don't know why he left the trees there. He should have stayed concealed. And now you got TK picking off one guy, getting some shots on Juno, taking out the second. See, he's staying concealed, though, with that knocked over tree. And Blue 4 doesn't know where he is, but that's going to further entrench this group here and further entrench Blue 4's tank in this random fight that means nothing. So now it's just Op4 being lucky enough to stall Blue 4 in really silly firefights, in my opinion. No way, what happened here? Sayek got knocked out. He took one of the ATGM guns that he found on that Op4 group. They're getting now ambushed by that force up here. I think Blue 4 is going to be able to hold the 5 points for holding both terminal sites because... Or, excuse me, Op4 is going to get that. That's going to give Op4 5 points. Blue 4 already has 4 for getting the drone data, and then it's a fight for that final area, which Op4 is already close enough by to. You got Bishops getting knocked out across the street by Seal. I don't know. Blue 4 pulled their forces back and decided to deal with a random ambush position instead of just avoiding it in general because it meant nothing. So Blue 4 is just been getting target fixated on stuff. If Blue 4 wasn't having target fixation issues, this chopper would still be up. It wouldn't be going for that. This force would have already moved in and probably gone for this uplink site here. And now that the other force is getting ambushed, just, it's a mess. So I'm not sure if that's Pogo giving these orders or if just local squad leaders are getting target fixated on taking out random stuff. But TK Llama's down. Seal, I think, is taking fire from a whale here, and he gets knocked out. But less than 15 minutes for that Blue 4 group to move in to hit one of the terminal sites. I don't see that happening. What does SBS stand for? What's that? I forget again. Because I remember I did know what that term was, but I forgot. Now, Blue 4 is doing a really good call here. They're ambushing this group. Look at all the knockouts they're getting, too. Taking out their Vic as well. Great calls there, but Blue 4 doing a great job of trying to hunker down there and then maneuvering this team to ambush that site. That's great. But after they lick their wounds, will they have enough time is the question. But OFCRA bringing the Marshal in. This Marshal, if it goes up on the ridge, could stop this Blue 4 advance because it's going to get really, really thin here. If OFCRA turns and starts engaging, that's going to allow Ziki a lot of opportunity here to stop this counter. Smooth brain syndrome. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Marshall in perfect position. Does he spot? Blue 4 immediately spots it. Oh, they're looking right at him. He sees the movement. I think he's trying to confirm PID right now. Yep, and we just saw one guy get sniped by AP rounds. Ethan getting taken out as well by the MG. So now this group's covered by the Marshal. They have Nori here with AT, but he's pulling away. I think Blue 4's done. There's another knockout. Because that tank's supposed to counter the Marshal, but the tank's all the way over here, so... With Blue 4's remaining force after this, I think OPFOR has it in the bag. I normally don't call OFCRA games early on, but just based off of units positioning where the points are going to fall, I think this is done and done. So OPFOR still taking some casualties up here. Blue 4 gathering their wounded. He's grabbed all 3 guys here. He's only a machine gunner, though. So he'll need a dedicated medic to probably go down there to sort stuff, but Blue 4 having remaining casualties starting to mount up here. Is this an open server? Yes. Technically it is. You can always do ! OFCRA. Join their... Okay, no. So he means... How do I put it? This isn't an open server where anyone can just show up and join. There's a few steps you got to do. You got to join their Discord, but then after that, you download their mod set? Yes. But open server, that definition changes per person. In my opinion, an open server of where you can just literally get on and play with their mod set is an open server to me. But to some people, an open server might just be one that you get on the multiplayer browser and immediately click in. But my consideration of open is you just show up to the community and you can play without any formal training as long as you like just pick up their mod set. So TSB, in my opinion, is an open community. But a group like TMTM, where you have to go through like a 2-week sign-up process, in my case, it was almost 2 months, because just waiting around for people to read through and accept or deny intros. That's definitely more of a closed-off community. It's been 9 months for you. I'd recommend you do another one then, Falcon, because that just means they haven't been doing them. That's funny. I'm going to be honest, the only reason I got them to check mine was because I knew the formal owner, because we both went through, I think, some CCOs together way back when. So networking, you know, it is a thing, but... Oh, some AT fired by Dewey there, but wasn't enough. He was the medic. I assume that was a single-shot disposable? Yes, it was, but he missed. So now the Marshal's coming around, looking for more targets here. Being very, very ballsy, but the AT guys were taken out. And I'm not sure if anyone's picked up that AT. Oh god, they just blew up the building. Sayek desperately trying to get his ATGM out here. He's gonna poke his head out. Can Ziki notice? He's blowing up that that transport Vic. He's firing at more stuff. That's suppressing Sayek because he doesn't know if he's being shot at or not. But the damage has been done. Even if that Marshal's taken out, I don't think Blue 4 is going to be able to recover from this. What's that bad fact you have now? Sayek, you are really exposed, dude. Get that shot. Oh! He's knocked out just as he gets it up, but because it was wire guided, it went up in the air. Oh, just as he got knocked out, because when you're knocked out, you move. So it adjusted just as Zicky got the knockout. Zicky could not have timed that any more closely. Holy crap. That was awesome. If no saying, it's always Cheeseburger that sneaks up behind him. Yeah, man, welcome to PvP. That was great. That was super damn close. You can turn the wire guide off if you get a lock, but I don't think he, I think he was trying, but then he eventually fired because you have to wait for that lock to happen. Despo's building getting knocked out. He's now going to make a run for it. Yeah, no, so they've been saving their ammo. They've been using the chain gun on vehicles and buildings, but otherwise using the coax to snipe infantry. But yeah, no, he's switching to the, I believe that's AP to knock the buildings out like tissue paper, to be honest. But with that front secured, I'd say this uplink site's the weakest one, but Blue 4 have another 11 minutes, I think? No. It's the 75-minute marker, so that would be... No, they do have an 11 minutes. All right. I don't really see where Blue 4 can recover here. I mean, they've got this group. They've got 11 minutes, though. They're probably going to take this SSR... and then I guess assault from the south with these two staging for them. Those are part of the heli crew. Or they could charge up to that site. But OPFOR do have Overwatch on this hill. And we might actually see that tow get some use here. Even though I think they pulled it, yeah, to a different angle. Yeah, this Overwatch spot I like a little bit more. You got much better coverage right here. Yeah, the Marshal now doing its best, covering different angles. I think they're looking at friendlies right now. Morris, they got stuck basically dealing with a 5-man ambush that they could have just bypassed, but they got target fixated with it, and they lost a lot of stuff to it. There's the coax trying to fire as these two FAWR guys fold in a bit more. Not sure if they got hurt by it. Looks like they did. And I'm seeing a little bit of wounds. Yeah, I think, honestly, if you just committed, if you had that force bypass like it was supposed to, if it just went away from that ambush, went to this uplink site and a massive flank around, the other force just continued to the uplink site here, I think you would have been golden. But just so much silly shit happened. Some of it was OPFOR doing a great job ambushing, but some of it was just silly shit outright. There's just... it all kind of blew up in Blue 4's face. And it sucks, because Blue 4 had a really great opening, but they just weren't able to capitalize on it. Excuse me. Sick of all the flanking on the missions just to die and without a firefight? Sorry, buddy. Ay, ay, ay. Now, I'm going to be really curious to see what these two chuckleheads do. I mean, they've got MP7s, which are really good CQC weapons, even though they're submachine guns. But, I mean, they're fighting dudes that are literally just Overwatch and everything right now, so they might not be having any good perimeter security, so they could just walk up to this tree line and start popping heads, or they could crawl right up here and really engage in CQC here. Wait. So much for that. Someone pulled security at the right moment. Great retaliation here with some grenades, literally landing right on top of him. And he's knocked out by one of those grenades, and Panzer's trying to find the double tap. Now we're seeing some blind suppression. But yeah, Blue 4 starting to dismount over here. And now the tank's driving unsupported, right? What? What are you doing? Yeah, the tow's supposed to be looking down the street. I think the driver noticed. Never mind. Are you just gonna drive away? Tow that sucker! Where'd that go? I'm really confused. There we go. The gun's disabled. Alright, so Blue 4 have gotten their 5 points for holding both terminals, so now it's just an additional 2 points for whoever controls there by the end of the game.
The tank
But
simply does not give a single damn and is leaving the area. Look at him go.
Right, Malin, thanks for the 42-month resub, buddy. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Alright, tanks disabled. Remaining infantry are pushing around. You know, actually, I could be wrong. Did they get the uplink site beforehand? They might have, actually, because it says error now. I might have misread that, and Blue 4 might have rushed in last second and gotten that objective. I could be wrong here, because that terminal is reporting error, which means that Blue 4 might have stopped OFCRA from securing those 5 points. And yes, we're vibing to Halo music, man. All the crazy shit that's been going on. So I might have misread that. I thought Blue 4 had it. I didn't realize they were assaulting that other position. But if they were able to get one of those 2 terminal sites, then that would have stopped OFCRA from scoring those 5 points. So a last-second rush might have saved Blue 4. Because the only way OFCRA can now win is they can't. They can only tie by getting both the supremacy bonus and the other side. And I hope Pog's op goes well tonight as well. It's going to be a toughie, too.
Let's give him a
But we'll see.
shall we?
Yeah, so literally they rushed up, they knocked over the walls, and they just ran through the compound. What chads. But, I mean, if they are able to secure these, then run a guy over to the Swiss bunker, then they're fine. Now you have this gun car starting to fire and pick people off here. Looks like they're remounting. I don't think they noticed. Interesting turn of events. So I'm going to go under the assumption that they did get the terminal hacked in time. We'll see the ending points. There's no one in there. Why would you leave that? That's actually a really powerful support weapon. I guess because they have only 4 people left, but it's a weird call. But now you're seeing Op4 fold everything back to the Swiss bunker, which means I think they still have an opportunity to win this, though. We still have Zicky with the Marshal over here. We have a few Op4 Remnant here fighting with Blue 4, but Tolly, yeah, that's 762 just taking him out. Ouch. Could be out of ammo, too. Now, I'm wondering if Blue 4 is going to repair their tank. They do have a man down right here, so I think they're working on him first. But no, Op4 is going to fortify the Swiss bunker and hold it. So again, there's 2 possibilities right now. Blue 4 was able to get the hack in time. I think they were, because you're not supposed to be able to interact with this if it finishes. Because here's what it's supposed to look like. No, they might have gotten it. Hold up, one second. Let me tab out. Yeah, so if they're hacked, they say the error right here. So this means that it's timed out now. So Blue 4 did, Op4 did score those 5 points. So breaking it down right now, Blue 4 has 3 points, excuse me. So the drone data was only worth 3 points. Op4 has 5 points. So the only way Blue 4 can win is if they get both the supremacy bonus and capture the secret bunker, which is the Swiss bunker up there. That'll give them 7 for 2 and 2. If they get the supremacy bonus or they get the bunker, they'll tie the game. But if Op4 gets the bunker or the supremacy bonus, or both, they win. So it's really favoring Op4 right now. But now you're going to have this Marshal basically come around and maraud for any remaining Blue 4 elements here. Op4 is going to fold their remaining forces back. They're sending one guy in to check if there's any Blue 4 there. They're going to find it empty and fully garrison that. You got some Op4 and Blue 4 guys sweeping around on that forest where that previous ambush was, I guess, just checking around for each other. And you still have that one player named Bot back here. What a Chad. What was just fired? I heard some form of ATGM fired. It landed over there. That was possibly the tow Humvee. Engaging from range. Ah. So they're trying to snipe that. So that's a nice Blue 4 their transport and an armed Vic. Blue 4 dismounted it, so I'm assuming it was out of ammo. Because there's no other reason to dismount that vehicle, but that also means Blue 4 is going to have to go on foot for the rest of this distance. And now you have Op4 red on red. No, okay, there was a Blue 4 guy in the middle there. So that guy bypassed their lines. At least I think it was a member of FAWR. And now more Blue 4 are getting picked off here. At least I think. I'm actually really confused right now with this fight. No. Did they just... I'm pretty sure the Italians just team killed the French... No, the French players team killed the Italian players. Because black is Italian, French is this, and then Blue 4 are the Germans, the Budweiser, whatever you call them, and they're that. So because I saw 4 Op4 symbols up here, and now there's only 2. So I'm pretty sure Op4 just... Yeah, so that was Danny and Kilo. And they just... said Op4 was winning? You see, anytime I say one faction's winning an OFCRA, they gotta even it out. You know, just a special mini event where they do something silly. The Italians are being betrayed by the French. Ay, ay, ay. And I got Blue 4 driving by Op 4's line here to try to get into the compound. All right, who's gonna win the dismount war? What? 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 Oh, I can't. You know, sometimes the genius of the player base truly frightens me. So, Op4 definitely having some miss-PID issues. And I don't really know what else is here. I mean, this is it. I mean, Op4 I think have won it because they got a few guys in the zone. They just have to hold it till the end of the game, which is in 20 minutes. They still have their Marshal in play, which I'd assume is eventually going to pull back and just stomp anything that's still in that area. We still have an Op4 group all the way over here with the tow launcher. I really don't know what else Blue 4 can do at this rate, other than I guess let Op4 killed themselves? I don't know. TTE, thanks for the 23-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Despo doing a great job running a one-man war, but you gotta remember, they only score points if they have two guys in the sector. Bob doing a great job of pushing him in the smoke and taking him out. So Blue 4 pushing these two vehicles in. Marshall's also coming in. Oh, I think, are they lining up 18? No, they're doing an early dismount. Helicopter's now flying in. Marshall's looking. Though not in the right direction. They're focusing on just making sure that sector's secured. NASA went down. These two Blue 4 guys still sweeping around. Swola pulled back. Dicky, no! Zicky! Op4, how many times have Op4 shot their own people or had PID issues in the last, like, literally 5 minutes? I told you Op4's just gonna even themselves out at this point. It's okay, Tolio. And you gotta give sub by Drunk Fire Bear. Everyone wins. Alright, so Op4, so Blue 4 are now gonna use Op4 to sweep out Op4's position for Blue 4. Alright, we got some small arms fire going there. Everyone's trigger happy today. Hold up, is that a one-on-one? No, that's Blue 4 took the car with their +1. Okay, so Op4, he's now running back. So Blue 4 might clutch this because of very interesting stuff, but that's only if they're able to take out this Marshal. If they're unable to take out the Marshal, I don't think they're going to be able to take the zone. which means might see a tie game, but at the same time, there goes the vehicle. The only way Blue 4 can win again is if they get both the supremacy bonus and take that sector, which numbers-wise might actually be possible for Blue 4. Both sides are pretty spread out, but that also means Blue 4 has to have more than 5 people alive by the end of the round. Which, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if Blue 4 lose 4 more people, it's GG to Op4. Because if Op4 get those 2 points, then there's no way Blue 4 can win. Wow, there goes the Marshal. Unfortunately, that means Zicky is on the loose, but he's on fire. Does anyone shoot him? Damn, they hit it right in the fuel block, too, for it to flame out like that. Zicky now desperately trying to roll to pat the flames out. Keep rolling. He got it. Screaming's freaking terrifying. Now, here's the thing. If Ezio doesn't come up here and double tap Zicky, Zicky's just gonna get up and murder these 3 people. Gonna be honest with ya. It looks like Ezio is gonna do just that. He's gonna catch Zicky on the road. Will Zicky quick shot this in time? Ezio... Wow. Literally in Zicky's face. He's gonna run for it. Gets behind some concealment. Got some more fighting long range over to that area. Zicky continuing the bandage. Ezio, if you have another grenade, you saw him run over there. That's where you need to put it. Now you're seeing some long range fire. How many guys does Op4 have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Real quick. 10, 11, 12. Because it's the driver plus that. So Blue 4 need to get 7 more kills to get the supremacy bonus, which they could. They honestly could. But I'm really worried about Zicky here. For both sides, I think he's going to help determine the winner here. Ezio and Nort, though, are 2 that could definitely counter him. But Zicky is really smart about his maneuvering. Now, if Benares comes on Zicky's rear, it's all over. So, Benares, you need to, like, turn around before you're picked off by those 2 chuckleheads. He's gonna get picked off by those 2 chuckleheads. Oh, he's doing the serpentine. Still gets shot. He's not gonna take cover. Oh, wait. Wait, Benares. 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 Okay, if Zicky turned around and killed Benares there, I would have been very, very pissed off. For the record, I would have genuinely been pissed off, because that was too close. There was a big freaking hesitation there. Oh my god. No one's in control, so if no one gets any more points, it's still going to be an Op4 victory of 5-3. So Blue 4... I mean, Op4 sending their units in slowly here. We got 14 minutes remaining. What did you just shoot at? No one can afford a blue on blue or a red on red right now, please. So we still have 3, 6. Actually, so Blue 4 has 10 guys. Wait a second. Huh. I miscounted. So it's 10-3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 10-12. But Blue 4 is in slightly better position. No, I'd say Op 4 is in better position here because they got the Overwatch down pretty well. And they have a tow and a 50 cal Humvee and air superiority to do recon. You're right, it is 9. I am such an idiot. It's 3 groups of 3 versus... Did you just run out of ammo? Nubas, finish him! Oh... Imagine your life ending because someone literally runs up, puts the barrel into your chest, and pulls the trigger of an MG3. And literally just shreds you out of existence. Oh, that was brutal. That was honestly brutal. Here comes Veneris flanking around, but Nubas, I think, spotted him, tries to get some shots in. I'm a little worried about Nubas's ammo count here. Doing that blind suppression like that, you're eventually going to run out of ammo. Now he's being flanked from afar. He gets crippled. That might be it. That flanking shots, he's being shot from multiple different angles. Still okay. And he's knocked out by a final shot. That was a sniper shot. Marksman shot there from Nort. No, Oliver, my bad. You're hearing OpForce sniper, though. I have no idea what he's engaging. Yeah, that HK build, yep. It's the Blue 4 marksman. For that Heckler and Coach. I think it's a G28? Yeah, G28. Why are you unconscious now? What? You're not even near... Was there a mine down here or something? I don't know. I give up. You still have Bot over there. Now, Bot counts as a person, which is kind of metagamey, so he should be kicked, in my opinion. Because if he's still alive, that is going to directly affect the supremacy bonus. So Rigel dropping Swola off. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. If Op4 get down to 6 players, but Blue 4 would have won because of the supremacy bonus, I'm still saying Blue 4 won. Because that guy's been AFK the entire game. HKs are pretty powerful. Yeah, 762 is a pretty nasty round. But now Op4 has 2 guys in the zone. They just need to keep alive for the next 10 minutes and they're good. Blue 4, meanwhile, down to 8 guys, technically, because when you're unconscious, you still count for the supremacy bonus. He broke a nail and pass out. But again, for the record, if Blue 4 somehow knocks out a lot of Op4 players and gets them down to 6, on paper, I'm giving them those 2 points. Even if it says that they don't. But oh my gosh, that man was just picked off by the 50. Blue 4 down to 6 players up, 7 on technical. I don't see how Blue 4 can win. Because Op4, they've got a tow overwatch. They got the 50 cal overwatch. Maybe the marksman could pop some heads. But that's it. That's really it here. We've got 8.5 minutes remaining. Blue 4 are going to have to do some maneuvering, which they do have a car to do so. And I think that crow system is disabled, because look how it's pointing down like that. So the only thing I can think of is they remount everyone, they get their buddies, and then they flank that attack vector. And then maybe they're able to push in. But with 8.5 minutes, it's going to be very, very close. Now, here's the one issue. That thing's driving in the open. Is the tow going to get it? Because if the tow gets it, it's GG. Flip on the tow. Lost his angle. Unless they stop. Hit him. Where's the tow? Where's that tow? There it is. You see it coming. Good night. Hey, boo. I'll start dinner in a bit. Oh. Oh my gosh. I'm writing that one down. That was... Wow. Op4 had an opportunity to seal the deal. And now they're just going to charge right in. I'm forced to scroll with one hand because Bloodwing's being a bit of a brat right now.
Hand out of my pants.
Then don't come up to me and literally rub your ass on
I
me.
was marking my territory.
Okay. Well, Blue 4 driving in. What happened? It's close. We're gonna see Op4 dismount and immediately mag dump that one guy. I think that's GG though for the supremacy bonus if one more guy gets killed. And there's Oliver's feet. And Rigel finishes him off. And there's the toe. And there are the final kills. GG. Op4 now has the supremacy bonus, so it is 7 points to Blue 4's 3. The only way Blue 4 could win is if they get their supremacy bonus and also take the zone. I'm going to wait 30 seconds to see if any of these guys wake up, because then they have the potential to then knock Op4 out of the zone and deny them from scoring those additional 2 points, but we'll know in 5 minutes. But at the same time, I think it's GG. There's the bleed out on that guy. I keep fat fingering the M and the N key at the same time. 5 minutes for them to move a kilometer. With Op4 overwatching, the other guy bled out. It's GG. That is an Op4 victory because Blue 4 got target fixated in mid-game and just it delayed half of their force. It got their aircraft shot down. Just so many bad things happened. Falcon, go ahead and wait. Let's just chill for a second. Have a bit of a conversation. Here, let's go with worldly events. What do we know right now? Other than Ukraine being a crazy no-fly zone right now, what do we got here? So apparently, Ukrainians have captured a lot of Russian stuff, which is great to see that the Ukrainians are fighting back. Realistically, I do think the Russians miscalculated their plans by quite a bit. The airfield the VDV took got retaken by a quick response force, but they also had a Spetsnaz group that was apparently a very major part in the retaking of that airfield. The remaining Russian VDV apparently fled to the trees. I think the VDV were relying on armor support to come in from the north that never came because it got stalled by Ukrainian forces. I'm not sure if they used javelins or not. No, please stop. Game's over, guys. No more red on red. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I know. Well, we're talking about how the Ukrainians are actually winning here. So, if it was bad news, I wouldn't be talking about it. But there is a little bit of hope here. No more red on red. Apparently, Ukraine is also doing a good job of countering Russian Spetsnaz in certain towns. But I think the real major issue now is going to be the next 12 hours with the night stuff. I want to see what the Russians try to counter with, because the Russians have the better night vision capabilities and thermal capabilities. Apparently Russia's massing stuff near the Polish border. That's not good. Blitzkrieg 2.0. And apparently there's going to be a bombing campaign on Kiev. Oh dear. Alright, but otherwise, let's see. Blue 4... They're stopping short. Yep, alright. Falcon, you can call it. It's an Op 4 victory. Blue 4, they took the knee. I think they're spreading equipment right now, but 90 seconds remaining. They now have no opportunity to get to there in 90 seconds. GG. So, good job for Op 4 betting. I really thought Blue 4 had that in the beginning, but again, that target fixation really screwed them. Yeah, I saw that too, Roach. They took about 200 Russians prisoner, and most of them were born in 2000, 2001, so that does feel like there is a forced conscription going on, but that is also a matter of we don't know what's real and what's fake right now. The only thing I'm really basing any of my information off of is video feeds, symbols of vehicles of what's where. If you see any white Zs, those are Russian forces. If you don't see the white Zs, those are Ukrainian. It did seem in the beginning the Ukrainians were getting a lot of their initial stuff like bombed to hell, but there has been some bounce back. I've been seeing some more flaming white Z-Rex compared to Ukrainian stuff now, which is great. You're gonna sub because they won? Nice. But it is something we still have to touch up here and there, especially for like an Arma channel, in my opinion. You gotta keep that going. Where do I see this? I'm part of a few Discords. Yas got me into a new one, which was also pretty cool. If you want the link, you can ask me for it on Discord, but the one that Yasahiro gave me has actually been the most accurate, in my opinion, of not giving any, you know, of the BS tweets that go around, but actual, like, footage of everything going on, too. Yeah, Z, O, and V, any white letters. But I would say you have to be careful with the official news branches right now, unless it's a group like CNN that actually has people in there. The live UA map is also very good. But here you go. So, Germans got their butts kicked, and the French were able to take everything. This is, that was a debug thing, so. Now they're up to 11, which is weird, but no, the Op 4 won that, so. Anyway. That is it here. Combat footage, yeah. Our Reddit combat footage has had some interesting posts in there as well. Just again, be careful